All right, I think we'll get started. I mean, Yvonne's coming as well, but we'll get started in the interest of time. First of all, I want to say welcome to you, Christine, for your very first time here. Thank you very much. You make yourself at home.
Thanks for having me.
Christine is a very multi-talented lady, apart from being a songwriter and a musician and a wellness coach. She's got, have a look at her profile. She's a pretty talented lady. And Brenda, it's lovely to see you back. Goodness gracious me. Wow, the last time you were here, we were in tears with your story. Do you remember that?
Yeah, she's frozen. There we go.
I'm having problems with my internet this morning, but...
Yes, we are having a bit of problem there. We'll come back to you. Just see if you can hang in there with us. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode, correct me if I'm wrong, John, 187 of the Your Next Level, thank you, of the Your Next Level Mastermind. Our topic for today is called Business Blunders and Breakthroughs. Before we do that, I'd just like to talk to those people who are watching the recording to remind them to make sure that they not only look at the links that these people have, and by the way, Christine, for your benefit, please put your connection links in the chat so people can reach out to you and put those things in the YouTube video, okay?
Sure.
So for those who are watching the recording, please take the opportunity of reaching out to each of these people who are extremely good at what they do. They give their time up on a regular basis, which is every Wednesday, to actually not just to share what they do, but to share with you their thoughts and opinions and advice and things that will help you avoid the pitfalls that they've been through. And in tonight's topic called Business Blunders and Breakthroughs, you'll hear from people who have been there. And if you are really, really interested in trying to make the most of your business opportunity online, then I can't stress enough to reach out to Yvonne, to reach out to Brenda and Christine and Pat and Vangelis and Brian and Alan and John. Reach out to them, book a time to talk with them. Book a time to talk with them. If you look underneath this video on YouTube, you will find the link to book a time to talk with them. And then just simply be open-minded to hear about what they have to say about the opportunities that they may have for you, or more importantly, the issues they may like to help you with, whatever it may be. None of us can do it on our own. We all need a coach of some sort. We all need support of some sort. But more importantly, we all need someone we can trust. So I would suggest reach out to every one of these people and be open about that. Okay, don't be defensive about it. There's nothing, they're not going to charge you anything. They're there to share with you what they truly believe is the real way to go about succeeding online. And they're from a variety of locations and from a variety of backgrounds and from a variety of industries. All right? So whether you want to talk network marketing or how to sing songs, whatever it may be, you want to talk to Christine about that, whatever, okay? There's a whole lot of people here. Anyway, before we get on to the topic itself, and thank you for those who are watching the recording, I appreciate the fact that you are going to spend time with us. For those who are on the call here, I'd like to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves. So just a little bit so people can get a bit of a feel for who they are, where they are, what they do and why they do it. And as always, because he's so darn quick off the mark, we're going to start with you, John. You were first here. So we'll start with you, followed by Yvonne, because I'm not sure how long we can hold on to Yvonne. She's got to go pretty soon. But John, followed by Yvonne.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, no matter where you are in this big wide world of ours. I'm John D. Allen Small Business Coaching. What I do is I work with coaches, financial planners, insurance agents, helping them solve the three biggest problems that they have. The first one is how to find your ideal prospect and have them own their problem. The second is how to end the chasing game forever. You know, we all give a great, grand, and wonderful presentation when we hear one little snippet of a problem, only to hear, I'll call you, or I'll I'll get back to you. And they never do. And the third point I help with is how they can double their business in 180 days or less. This is all done through using comfortable conversations by falling in love with your prospect's problem, not your solution program. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much, John. Yvonne Jones, followed by Pat Dryer.
Thank you, Peter. Hello, everyone. I am Yvonne A. Jones. I'm located in Jamaica, in the West Indies, not Jamaica, Queens, New York. And I work with mature online entrepreneurs to help them, basically, to grow their business, increase their income, increase their impact by the human connection, the connections they build, the relationships they create, so that it becomes less of an effort, constantly be chasing customers, chasing potential customers and potential clients. And what was it again, Peter? I don't remember what else I'm supposed to say. Did you ask me something else?
No, just to talk about what you do, why you do it.
Okay, that's it for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Yvonne, very much. Pat Dryer, followed by Vangelis.
I'm telling you, that island life has to be something else. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Dryer, and I live in Phoenix, Arizona, here in the United States. And very simply, I show people how to make money. And I've always marketed network marketing as a business opportunity by showing people how to build a business as a consumer versus selling product. Well, now we have a product that's changing my views on marketing for now. This is big and it's growing all over the world, especially in some of the poorer countries. And that's the interesting part. It's a product that just allows you to trade investments where you don't have to be an expert and you don't have to have a bankroll. And we enable the newest of people to leverage other people's trades with other people's money using a tap to trade option on the phone. So if you want to learn more about this and how it works, just connect with me. My details are in the messages, or you can go to patdryer.com. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you very much, Pat. Vangelis, followed by Christine.
Hello, everyone. I work with C-level executives and managers and entrepreneurs, and I help them improve all their KPIs. And I do that by helping them discover all their limiting beliefs and any type of sabotaging blocks they have. And what I help them do is improve all those KPIs by guiding them to reclaim their lives back and embrace who they really are and what they really are, so they can live authentically and align themselves with what they are, so they can also work confidently. And by the way, I'm in Costa Rica.
Thank you, Vangelis. Can I ask you one quick question?
Sure.
You said the term live authentically. Could you tell me what that means?
Yes, part of my theme is, are you living your life? And what I mean by that is, I've got over 5 million American airline miles, and I travel all over the world for 30 years, just week after week after week. And I met probably 30,000 more people, and most of these executives and entrepreneurs, they're very, very successful. But after I work with them in their business and technology arena, they take me aside in the evening and say, I know I should be happy, but I'm not. I feel so empty, unfulfilled, and a lot of them say they hate their lives. So their definition of success is they did what they were told, just like I did. I lived the life people wanted me to. I didn't live the life I wanted to. And people wonder, how can that possibly be? And I know exactly how it happens. So I work with them and I help them to live. What would you like to do? Well, I'd like to do this. So you've been like me, total without any type of integrity, meaning my life doesn't reflect what my desires are. Correct. So that's what authentic to me means. You're not really being true to what my passion was. Music. I wanted to be a musician. I was playing with studio musicians when I was 17. And that is what I want to do in life. But according to my church, my family, and everybody, music wasn't a career. So I did not do what I wanted to do. I wasn't living my life. So that is kind of what I see as I wasn't really authentic.
Thank you, Angelus, because following you is a songwriter. Here she is, Christine Best. Over to you, Christine, followed by Brenda.
Thanks, Peter. Nice to meet you all. Yeah, I'm Christine Best, and I'm a singer-songwriter and a wellness strategist. I love to inspire you through the lyrics of my songs and empower you to be the master of your wellness journey. So if you're interested in the trajectory of your wellness, now is the time to do something about it, because life gives you bad habits and behaviors, and you don't know you have them because they're habits, and they eat away at your health and well-being. I help you identify those things, and I help get rid of them and replace them with healthy habits and behaviors. And that helps you then to get to where you want to be in the future. Because chronic disease doesn't happen overnight. Chronic disease happens over a long period of time. And then one day you wake up, you've got aches and pains, or one day you've got other symptoms. They don't just happen overnight. They've happened over a long period of time. So now's the time to do something about it.
Thank you, Christine. And very quickly, because this is your first time here, hope you don't mind me asking, tell me a little bit about your songwriting and your music.
Yeah, well, when I was 15, 16, I started playing, I did a couple of years of classical and flamenco guitar, and I never thought I could sing. I didn't realize I could sing, because I can remember a time I was sitting on the floor in a big hall at school with school kids around me, and we were singing, and I could not sing at the level they were singing. I tried singing higher or singing lower, and I couldn't I felt like I couldn't sing and hit the notes. And so I just, from then on, started pretending I was singing, miming, until in my church, would have been 2015, there was a guy, an older gentleman, who heard me singing, and he asked me if I would like to learn to sing. He said, "You've got a good voice. All you need to do is learn how to breathe properly, and I can help you if you would like to learn." Oh, well, I had always wanted to sing. So anyway, he taught me some exercises, and I joined a ukulele club, and we sang in that, and I started to really enjoy singing. And after a couple of years, I went off on my own because I wanted to be a songwriter. I didn't set out to be a singer. I enjoyed the singing, but I set out to be a songwriter. Anyway, that led me to make a CD, and I thought, who's going to sing these songs for me? And I thought, it's going to have to be me. No one's going to do it. So I went to open mics, and I sucked. I was really bad. And I decided I really wanted to try and beat my nerves and all that kind of thing. And so eventually that's what happened, and it just went from there, and I learned to play different instruments, and here I am. And I love playing music. I mean, there's a whole lot more to that story, but I don't want to hog the limelight here. So
Okay.
if you want to know more about me, I'll put my contacts in the chat. We
Thanks,
can have
Chris.
a conversation. Thanks, Peter.
All I can say is that she is really good. That's all. I've had the privilege of listening to her, so she's good. Brenda, followed by, who haven't I got to yet? Brian. Yeah, Brenda followed by Brian.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brenda Marie Sheldrick. I'm in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and I am the Biz Leads expert at Biz Leads Expert. I help busy entrepreneurs stop wasting time on meetings that don't produce results by showing you how to create qualified leads through Sorry, I got lost for a minute there. Qualified leads through relationship building. Everything I do is about getting to know people and then getting referrals.
Thank you, Brenda. Brian, followed by Alan.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Brian K. McNeil, and I am a sales coach. I'm a sales confidence coach. I'm also a sales speaker, the best sales speaker. I come to you because I have been prepared to, and I teach people how to sell themselves, which they often forget, and their services better than they ever have before, so they can earn more money than ever before. There are so many amazing entrepreneurs and salespeople that offer services that genuinely do help others, but a lot of them do not earn that money that they could or that they should. And very often it's simply because they don't know how to sell well. I'm super excited today because today I get a chance to be great today. Today at 3 p.m., I get a chance to do a workshop where there's a couple of hundred people already registered on why people will say yes. And I also get to do another virtual workshop tonight at 7 p.m. on upgrading your holiday language, how to overcome the inherent holiday objections. See me after Thanksgiving, see me after Christmas, see me after New Year's. So I'm going to teach people tonight how to overcome those words. So I am really, really grateful for the opportunity to do what I've been prepared to do, teach people how to sell and to add honor to the profession of selling. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Thank you, Brian. Alan. Alan,
Hi, Peter. Hi.
the Solicitor General of the United Kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in Hampshire in the UK, and my business is property development. And what we do is we take unused or underused commercial buildings and we convert them into high quality residential accommodation. So there's a critical housing shortage in the UK, like there is in many countries around the world. And we essentially transform the value of property by taking relatively low value commercial property, which is sometimes empty since the COVID pandemic, and there's been a change of habits of people shopping. They shop more online now rather than in person. Offices aren't needed so much because more people are working from home. So we transform these spaces, which are usually buildings, sound buildings, and we convert them into much needed accommodation. One of the projects we're doing at the moment is to convert into specialized supported housing, which is for vulnerable people. So essentially it serves a social purpose as well as contributing to solving the housing shortage. And also it makes great returns for investors as well. So it's a win-win all round. I've got my details in the chat. Cheers.
Thank you, Alan. We actually had Mary, but I think she's disappeared. I wasn't. Are you there, Mary? I'm not sure.
No, she dropped off.
Is she okay? All right, thanks, John. I've got apologies from Mark Engstar, two New Zealanders, Mark Engstar and Elizabeth Lloyd Kerr. Both of them have got early starts in New Zealand in the morning, and right now it's about 2 o'clock in the morning for them anyway. From Tom Petty, from Alpha Freeman, is in the middle of a football. I can't remember the word he used for it now, but it's a big thing he's trying to sort out with young footballers. Janet Pacelli, Helen Peart, and Glenda Kroll, who passes on her sincere apologies, but she'll be here with us next week. Okay, our topic, business blunders and breakthroughs. At the bottom of the screen, you can see a little hand you can raise if you want to raise your hand. I'll take you in the order that you raise your hand. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say on this particular topic, because for those who are watching this, remember, these are people who have been there and done that, and they are prepared, I can no doubt, to tell you the absolute truth. We all make blunders, and we all have breakthroughs. And some of us have incredible breakthroughs, and we're probably going to hear one of them tonight. But let's start with you, Yvonne. You had the first hand up. Over to you. Business blunders and breakthrough from Yvonne Jones's perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. I decided to go back to when I first started online, because there's so many people who are coming online right now, and it's a different world. We know that. It doesn't matter how much, for me, how much years in corporate America I had another business. That when I walked away from corporate America, I started another business. I was a registered corporation for 2 years, and it just, none of that It didn't matter how you excelled, how many people you're responsible for, prepare you for the online world, because it really is a different world. When I came online in 2008, I basically felt like a kid who joined high school at grade 11, where everybody knows everybody and I knew no one. So one of the first classes that I attended, I found this, I didn't know what to do, because what I came online to do, I realized that no, I couldn't do that. And so I found on Twitter, I found this person who seemed to have a nice network of people. I lurked for a while. And since I like to write, he was teaching an article marketing course. So I joined his course. And I remember he was telling us to create a landing page. Landing page, what's that? Oh, just go look at mine and you can copy it. Well, the only design I'd ever done was when I was in college and started doing some design or something. I didn't know anything about it. How could I copy it? I wasted a whole day trying to copy this man's landing page. And then when I was finished, I said, oh my goodness, how am I going to get it online? Because it's still on my computer. So how do I get it so other people can see it? In the end, and it still looked homemade after days wasted time. I connected to a mentor who had someone in the Philippines who did a beautiful job with landing pages. My lesson from that is there's some things you cannot do yourself. There's nothing wrong in outsourcing it. And even those of us who have been online for many years, there are other things that people can do at less money so that you can focus on what you do best. So that was my blunder. I learned from that and I share that with other people. Find your wheelhouse. Don't waste your time on things that somebody else can do for $10 or $15 when you could be making more money focusing on what you can do.
Good. What about a breakthrough? What's your biggest breakthrough been, Yvonne?
Oh my goodness, I've had so many. I didn't go that far to think about it, to present it really, Peter, but
just give me one.
Yeah, I am coming up with one simple one. It's that, you know what, as I always talk about, it's all about the relationships you build. Because although we are independent business owners, I have learned over the years, especially my years of networking, physical networking, not virtual, face-to-face not networking. It's the people you hang around with. It's the people who you get to build that relationship, who will support you and bring other people into your fold. So you don't know everybody, but you just need to know a few people who trust you and find that you're an authentic person that they can trust. As Vangelis mentioned about authenticity, and they will introduce you so that before you know it, your network has widened significantly without your having to do a lot of work and chasing people.
Good. Thank you, Yvonne. John.
You're welcome, Peter.
John, you got your hand up?
Yeah. My blunder and the lesson I learned, actually, I was talking to this gentleman we'd met on another online program, and I was talking to him, and he wasn't even close to being an ideal client of mine. So I was just having fun with it. He said to me, have you got a guarantee? And me being a smart ass, I said, sure I do. He said, what's your guarantee? You don't do the work, you don't get the results. He said to me, okay, where do I send the money? And it was a case of, holy. I said it being a smart ass, and he took it as being real, because what had happened before with this other company I was with, I had a 300% ROI, where you didn't get 300% above what you paid me. You know, I'd work for you for free until you did. The problem with that guarantee was I couldn't guarantee what you were going to do or how you were going to do it. So like I say, when I was talking to this guy, I said, I'll just throw it out. The lesson is that's now my guarantee, from being a smart ass to actually learning something from it. So by all means, ladies and gentlemen, be yourself. Don't try to be anything else, but also look at everybody as if they're not your ideal prospect, because you will talk to them differently. They will also talk to you differently because there's no sales pressure, and go from there. Thanks, Peter.
Give me the line again, John.
If you don't do the work, you don't get the results.
Thank you. Well, that's pretty darn true when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Alan.
Hi, Peter. Yeah, my little contribution is about breakthroughs, and it's a matter of a combination of a lot of things that we've already talked about on the call today. It's about building great relationships, like Yvonne's talked about. It's about having the right mindset, and it's about having a healthy mind and body. And Christine touched on this when she said about chronic disease happens over a long period of time. You know, you need to actually live healthily and think healthily. And also you need the right sort of approach to selling. You know, this is so important for any CEO or any business owner. It's all about selling yourself all the time, and selling your products, and essentially convincing someone that they can trust you, and that you're an authentic person, that you're worth investing in. So I'm making some breakthroughs recently, and one of the breakthroughs I made was with a lady who I first engaged with 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago, to try and negotiate the purchase of her property. And she obviously wanted to sell the property. She's had some unsuccessful transactions in that time. She turned down my first offer. Then last year I tried to negotiate it again. She didn't take my offer. And then just this year, I had a breakthrough a few weeks ago when she actually accepted my offer. And it's because she's got to know me, and she trusted what I wanted to do with the building. And she's, you know, quite taken with the purpose that we're going to put the building to. So it's not just about money, you know, it's about having that relationship as well. So anyway, for my 5 pence, that's it. Cheers.
5 pence? What's that worth, Alan? Thank you. Thank you very much. Brian, you got your hand up.
Yes, good morning again. What an interesting topic, you know, and this is one of those topics where it's very, very easy to not participate in because you want to hide your foibles and your mistakes, and it's natural to want to do that. But what I want to say is to contribute to this talk here about what are the breakthroughs we've had in business, or what are the mistakes we've made that we've learned from. I've learned that I achieve in direct proportion to how much I am attempting and studying. So when I'm trying something big, I'm achieving more. Or when I'm studying more fervently, I achieve more. And now it doesn't happen to me nearly as much as it used to, but it used to be a place where I could clearly see once or twice a year, my business was at a place where I felt it was happening just because I am so great. I'm so great. I'm making this stuff happen. And right at that point, my business always seemed to take a nosedive. It's because I stopped doing the things that it took to get me there, which is studying daily and writing regularly. When I'm studying daily my craft, my mind is expanded and I'm doing more. But when I feel like I know everything, or when I get comfortable with what I know, my sales always started to dip. And I grade everything like that. So it was like direct proportion. Okay, Brian, when you're willing to crack a book, or when you're willing to take a course, things happen more for you. And you have to do that. I need that kind of food for myself mentally for me to be successful. And I just wrote down my notes to keep learning, keep writing, and to run everything through your personal filters. So no matter what you learn, you have to try it through your personal filters, because it may not all work. So you might learn a new concept or a new technique like Alan was talking about, but then you run it through your personal filter to see if that balance is for you. Because when you're actively in the arena making presentations or doing your thing, your market will tell you whether that's true or not, or what part of it is true or not. Because not always all of it is true in your market through your personal filter. So keep learning, keep writing, and run everything through your personal filter. Is what I wanted to contribute.
Thank you, Brian. Well said. Well said. Vangelis.
This goes all the way back, oh my gosh, when I first started at IBM. When you start out, you get asked to do a bunch of things for all of the accounting and consulting engineers and stuff. And one of them asked me to do a presentation. And they gave me all the material and I put it together. Now, this is in the early 80s, so there was no Microsoft PowerPoint. I mean, this is transparencies. Okay, so this is a while back. And I was doing the presentation and people were telling me, well, that's not correct, or that's an error and all that stuff. And I said, so after the presentation, I spoke with the consulting engineer. I said, will you give me all the information? Well, you should have checked to see if it was correct. So I thought, okay, so that's the way it works. So from then on, when somebody would give me stuff, I'd say, well, let me just verify it. Well, you don't trust me? I go, no, not at all. Not one bit. So that really got me to researching, investigating. So when someone provides me anything, I just confirm it, verify it, validate it, make sure it's really what is supposed to be presented. And so that was a blunder of mine that I just kind of took what people gave me. And then one of my first breakthroughs was I did have a couple of mentors at IBM. And one of the things that he was telling me was, well, there was a customer, my customer was EDS, Ross Perot's Electronic Data Systems. And one of the engineers was having a problem with a product. And he said, I want you to go out there and help him fix it. I said, I don't even know what the thing looks like. He goes, you don't need to. So what do you mean? He said, okay. The guy's name was Sammy. He says, what does Sammy do? I said, well, he works on this application and product every day. Okay, every day. That's all he does, right? Yeah. He probably even knows it better than the guy who wrote it at IBM, don't you think? Probably. Okay. Do you think he really wants you to go out there and help him find his error on something that he knows by the back of his hand? Probably not. He goes, no. What he wants is someone to listen to what he's done, and you're going to try to figure out what his methodology is. I said, okay. So I went out there. I had no idea what anything looked like. So I said, so tell me what you've been doing. I'm looking around the room trying to figure out, okay, what is he working? He goes, okay, this is it. You know, he tells me stuff. And so I started saying, well, tell me when was the last time it worked, and tell me what do you know is still working, and tell me why. And then he started talking to me and stuff. And after a couple of minutes, I said, well, then why'd you do that? And he says, that's my problem. So I came back and my mentor said, so what do you realize? I said, I realized I don't have to know anything about anything. I just have to know how to ask good questions. He goes, that's it. And now when I go somewhere and someone says, have you worked with this? I go, don't need to. I removed that fear 45 years ago. Really. And so that was I do that now where I have no fear. I don't even have to know what you're doing. I mean, I taught rocket scientists at Cape Canaveral. I don't know how to make a rocket, but they just wanted to understand their methodologies and their approaches. So that was a huge breakthrough for me.
Interesting, Vangelis. You don't have to know anything at all, right? Wow. Christine.
Yes. I've made heaps of blunders, if that's what you want to know.
Yeah. Whatever you feel comfortable in.
The one that I was going to share was, I had a business in Sydney it was a wellness business, it was natural remedies and injury rehabilitation. And I had a clinic. And I employed, well, rather subcontracted people. I did employ, there are two things I could tell you. I did employ somebody previously, and they hurt themselves at soccer, but they ended up claiming workers' comp against me, and it nearly sent me broke because it was just me in the business. And anyway, I got over that one, and I employed a couple of, not employed, as I said, subcontracted a couple of people, and they did massage therapy for me. And one lady that I engaged, I'd actually worked very hard to get my clients, and I had a really good clientele, and I had a reliable clientele. They kept coming back because I gave them good service. This woman that I had hired, I gave her a new client, and I was in my office and I overheard her talking to this person, this brand new person that it cost me money to get, right? As you know, it costs you money to get clients. And I heard her say, look, I'm going to refer you to this chiropractor and tell him that Susan sent you. And I was like, I want to run out there and give her what for, And I held back. That's not like me because I'm very impulsive normally. But I just withheld, I bit my tongue, and I withheld all my anger. And I actually had a really good client. I had really good clients. And I had a good rapport with my clients. And this particular guy had been in business. He was in real estate, and he'd been in business for so long. And I rang him up and I said, Sid, this is what's just happened. And he goes, oh, yeah, these things happen. He said, whatever you do, don't let her know that you know. And I said, well, I didn't. I don't know how I did that and how I kept my cool, but I did. And he said, well, just what you do is you tell this person, look, I have, next time you call her in and tell her that you just don't have any more work for her and that you have to let her go, because she wasn't employed, she was subcontracted. And I said, I so want to tell her what I know. And he said, do not do that because you'll create an enemy. And I saw the wisdom in what he was saying. Human beings want to get revenge for what's not right, because it was so unethical. And yeah, it's not always wise to do that. So he taught me a lot of things, actually, that anybody can give you good information. And he was a client. And so, he came to me for what I was good at. But, when you've got a good relationship with people generally, and that's what we're doing here. These are relationships that we're building here. And that's what I'd done with all of my clients. I had good rapport with all my clients. And so Sid really helped me. And that lesson stayed with me, so I can share that with you as well. It was a really valuable lesson. There were so many different aspects to that whole scenario. Yeah.
That's interesting. Good. He was a very wise man. He was. Brenda, blunders or breakthroughs or both? Whatever you want.
I think I've got one that kind of connects the two. So when I first started out as an entrepreneur, I was working in the financial services sector, and I had a product that I was really, really passionate about because I knew that it would change the lives of people with disabilities. And all my life, I'd worked with people with disabilities, and I really wanted to make things better for them. And so I thought, all I have to do is sell this product to all of these people, and it's going to make their lives better. Because basically it didn't cost them anything to sign up. And so I started looking for people with disabilities, and I started telling them about this product, and I kept getting the same response. And the response I got was, if this was real, the government would have told us about it.
Mhm.
And I was insistent that no, the government's not telling you because it would cost them more money to give it to all of you. So if you don't figure it out yourself, you're not going to ever get it. And they go, no, 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 I don't believe it. And then they'd say, well, if it was real, my accountant would have told me about it. And I go, well, maybe your accountant doesn't know everything. And they would go, no, this sounds too good to be true. It's a scam. Go away. Get away from me. Don't talk to me anymore. And this happened over and over again. And I was getting really, really frustrated. And then somebody told me to stop trying to tell them what I knew. Stop trying to tell them these facts. Accept the fact that your client only knows what they know. And if they knew everything that I knew, then they wouldn't need me anyway. So this ties into what Vangelis was saying. If I ask good questions to find out what they already know and I listen to their answers, then I can meet them where they are and they will be more likely to be willing to listen to me.
Well said, Brenda. Well said. We all go through a learning curve, right? There's no doubt about that. And we're probably going to be always a work in progress. There's no doubt about that. Pat Dryer, I'm always busting to hear what you've got to say.
Well, it's all about breakthrough, right? I had a real nice corporate career, so I'm sitting on all this education and knowledge that I've learned over the years. So I can't learn anything more. I know it all, right? Everybody does. But everybody in here has already talked about this. The biggest breakthrough I had was when I learned that if I had an open mind, I would have more success in other things, my life, my mind, body, soul, the whole thing, if I had an open mind on it and realized I don't know as much as I think I do. As a matter of fact, as much as I know is this much compared to what's going on out in the world. So the breakthrough that I had was when I read books, don't read them, study them, master them. When I talk with people, try to find out what they want, what they do, and realize that they probably know more about what we're talking about than I do. And just have an open mind towards the fact that I can learn a lot more. And as a matter of fact, I do. I found, like Brian was talking about, that daily personal development is so key to your mindset, your feeling, and like I said earlier, your mind, body, and soul. It all goes together. And as long as you can keep those moving in the same way, you can help yourself and so many other people that it's not funny. So I thought when I was going to retire, I would just go off and travel and play golf and spend time with my grandkids. And then after meeting my mentor and friend in business here in network marketing, it was then that I realized that there's so much more that I can do to help so many other people. And so I felt again now that I have a purpose, and it's not just being retired, hoarding my money and figuring out how long I'm going to live on this life and if I'm going to have enough to go. So I don't worry about anything anymore. The breakthrough that I had was phenomenal, and it's more about the books, the training, the talking with people, the masterminds like this. I mean, we're talking, and this is a part I just drives me crazy because I just love it so much. We're talking to people all over the world on this little event we're having today. And I just absolutely love that. And we're all thinking the same. We're trying to get the same. We all want to help people. And the breakthrough I had was my little world is so insignificant to what's out there. There's so much more that I can do. And I just hope I live to 100.
Thank you, Pat. We'll wrap it up. Has anyone got anything else to say before we go?
Yeah, I'll say just one little thing about the scenario that happened all those years ago. So that was between it was back in before 2000, and since then I've done various courses, and I've learned about values, And it's not just the values that, say, I have or that you have. It's the values that when you employ people, their values are really important. That they have to align with the values of you or your organization. And so that I made that blunder employing that woman because her values didn't align with mine. She was feathering her own nest and she had other ulterior motives. So her values were all about her, not about my business. And so I made a mistake and I should have taken a leaf out of who was it? Was this Vangelis or Pat said about asking the right questions? Was that Vangelis?
It was.
Yeah. And so I needed to learn to ask all the right questions. So I got very good at asking questions about everything. Ask the right questions, you'll arrive at the right answer.
The answer is always there.
It is. Yvonne.
Thank you, Peter. I just wanted to ask for feedback here. Or I'm not sure feedback is the word, but yes, because we're kind of like I'm not all in the same age group. I'd like to hear your please. I hate the word you seniors. I'm a senior, but I don't feel like a senior yet. I'm considered a senior. What language as a mature, I use mature sometimes, what other word would you feel acceptable if you're reading something or you're being spoken to about something that can help you? Say you're just starting a business or whatever it is, or helping you to live a healthy life, longevity, because the longevity market is huge. We are supposed to be the largest population. Those of us who are baby boomers or consider ourselves to be. What language do you prefer to hear? What word? I don't like seniors. I'm saying that off the bat. Anybody has any suggestion on that?
Age should never be considered because age is just a concept that I know people have the wrong idea about age. So why can't they just call you by your name and you're a woman? Why does it have to be you're an old woman or you're an aged person or you're a senior? There's descriptions that we shouldn't be using. You're a woman. You get what I mean? Because people have the wrong idea about age. People go, oh, I'm getting old, I've got aches and pains. That goes with being old. And that's not true. So there's all these stereotypes and ideas that people have. We need to change that. They just accept you for you. You're a human
without
being.
any mention of age. That's basically what you're
without
saying,
any
Christine.
connotation. Yeah, without any connotation towards age. I don't see the point. Why do we have to? Because look, you know what? I went to this church. It's a very nice church. And we used to all sit around. We didn't sit in groups with the young kids over there and the adults here and the older people over there. We were all intermingled. And the kids would sit with me and the older people would sit with me and the younger people. It was great. We all had these amazing conversations. Why do we have to segregate people if we should be looking at unity and inclusiveness?
I agree totally. Because of all the work that I've done on myself, I mean, my eyesight has improved. It's amazing every year I see, I've got 20/20 now. And I don't have any aches and pains. I'm 66. I'm faster, sharper. I'm faster in my response times. So age is what the media and people try to tell you what is normal, because what I find as normal is me. And what other people do with their lives, I mean, I don't think you even need to categorize it. I agree with Christine, because when I started at IBM, people would say, I've been here for 35 years. And after 5 years of being there, I was teaching them. And I'm thinking, so I heard this person say, do you have 20 years of 1 year experience or do you have 20 years of experience? Because it's not number of years or time. It's what have you done with that time. So maybe you don't really have to even, I don't like categories. I just don't.
I
So
don't
when
like
age,
labels that I agree.
Exactly. People,
I'm
Thank
me.
you.
everybody wants to put you in a box. Everyone wants to
Yes.
put you somewhere. And I was asked, oh, you're a country singer, aren't you? And I went, no, I don't define myself as a country singer. I'm a singer. But I've written songs in 12 different genres. So you have to rethink what you're going to call me.
Yeah, I
I
even
agree.
stopped
Thank
saying
you.
I am, because I am means I'm categorizing myself. I mean, one of my talks is about you're not a father, it's what you do. You're not a mother, you're not a dentist, you're not a doctor, you're not, those are things you do.
That's
But
right.
because what you really are, that's back to the authentic, you're a spirit, you're a soul that is living in this body, and you have a purpose and a mission. And what I do every day is I just listen for my soul as to what you put me here to experience something. What do you want to experience?
Well, it's
And
about also finding our purpose and using all the talents that you've been given, because that aligns with your purpose.
exactly.
And that's the other thing that people don't do is they don't find their purpose. Sometimes people they have a midlife crisis and they find their purpose. But a lot of people, I think they die and they never find their purpose. And I think
Thank
people are
you,
unwell today.
Christine. I'm
because they
sorry
don't-
to cut
Untapped
you off.
potential.
I know we're going over time, so I don't want to intrude, but thank you very much. You have Pat, you were saying something just lastly. I think you were indicating something, because
Oh,
it's
she said
something
people
that I don't like.
die on using
It aggravates me too about, with this whole categorization thing. If you're teaching somebody to start a business, why do you have to say teaching seniors? Are we different from other people in learning? You know what I mean? So thank you very much for
Yvonne,
that.
do you
You know
remember?
what I think we've just come up with a new topic.
Do you remember years ago? It was probably, I don't know if it was 90s or whatever, where there was this, I'll say fad, where companies were getting rid of the seniors because they
Yeah.
thought if they had new people, they would get
Mhm.
people with less salary and all that stuff, right?
Right.
And then I remember 10, 15 years later, they're calling them all back because they realized these new people have no experience. And it's
IBM
just,
did that.
it was just so funny because then all of a sudden, hey, come back. I'm going, well, why?
Why?
You see,
They lost all their expertise.
Exactly. And so
Mhm.
now all of a sudden they want the experience back. Well, then my answer was, well, you're going to pay now. You're going to pay.
That's
There
right.
you go.
You want to say, look, now you're paying now. And that's what I do. When I first start something, I say, you don't know me, pay me the least amount. And then after a year, after I did that when I started with Cisco, they called me, headhunter called me and said, we want you to do instructing and consulting. I said, well, what's your lowest paid instructor? And they gave me a number. I said, okay, pay me that. After the first year, I was number 2 out of 30 people. I said, now you pay me. So it's the kind of same concept where
Mhm.
don't categorize people.
Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well
And I'm
said.
late for
Before
my
you go,
appointment.
please pick the 3 dots to save the chat.
Yeah, I'm saving it.
Pick the 3 dots to save the chat.
Peter, can you send me the chat, please, Peter?
Of course I will.
Well,
Of
this was
course I will.
fun, Peter.
And because of here during the elections, I get lumped in with all the angry white guys.
Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
I'm going to leave it on that spot. Thank you, everybody, for your contribution. I'll see you next week. Take care.
That was
Lots
fun,
of love.
Peter. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.